Hey there, BookTube. Hey, BookTube. Hey, BookTube. That was probably terrifying. I'm really sorry I did that. Today I want to talk to you about Nightwalker. This is my Nightwalker review. So, this book, it's Hard Case Crime number 16. I'll give you a little... I've done this on like 3 other videos. Who was he really under the bandages? When Navy Lieutenant David Young came in a hospital bed, his face was covered with bandages and the nurse were calling him by a stranger's name. But his nightmare was only the beginning, because the man they believed him to be was suspected for treason and had driven his wife to murder. Now, in a shadow world of dirty deals and brutal crimes, David must learn to stay one step ahead of his hidden enemies. If he can't, his impersonation of a dead man is about to become a lot more realistic. I've said that so many times now. So anyway, Nightwalker. Nightwalker is by Donald Hamilton. I always forget that for some reason. Anyway, it is extremely entertaining. If you like a mystery, I guess, because it seems like it's more of like a crime thriller or something like that, but it kind of isn't, and it's more like espionage, but it kind of isn't. The mystery that you're trying to figure out is that Lieutenant Young is hitchhiking. He gets picked up by this guy named Lawrence Wilson, who tells him all this stuff about how he used to work in Washington, and because of some horrible misunderstanding or mix-up or something like that, he was accused of being a communist, and he got kicked out of his job. So while they're talking in the car, basically Wilson hits him over the head and then changes clothes with him and pushes the car kind of in a ravine and tries to set the car on fire. So he's like unconscious. He wakes up in the hospital and he's got bandages all over his face, and they're calling him Lawrence Wilson. And he's like thinking to himself, he's like, wait a second, that's not my fucking name. And he's trying to come to and all this other stuff, but he can't because of all the drugs he's on. And then before he knows it, the doctor clears him to go home, and the wife comes... Lawrence Wilson's wife comes to take him home. While he's there, he's trying to figure out what the hell's going on with everybody and afraid that they're going to find him out. But the thing that is troublesome about the book is that they explain why he's going along with this. And it's basically because he was on, when he's in the Navy, and his ship was attacked, and I guess the ship sank, and he's been having like nightmares because he almost died. And a naval ship seaman who's afraid of being on the water is kind of a shit move. He's supposed to be reporting for duty so he could be shipped off somewhere. And so I think there's a part of him that doesn't really want to go because he's terrified of it. And they talk a little bit about it, but his motivations seem a little like it doesn't really come across really hard. The chapters are super short and like action-packed. Like every chapter, something happens. It keeps moving the book along. It's paced great. Nothing is what it seems. You're constantly being fucked with, and so you, like the character, keeps getting hit. I kind of wish this was a first-person book because we find stuff out as Lieutenant Young finds stuff out, and I think it would have just worked a little bit better in a first person. And in fact, there were a lot of times when, as I was reading it, it's in third person, and while I was reading it, I kept thinking it was in first person. So when I would get to the next part and it goes, he, blah, 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 I'd yell, who the fuck's he? So that was kind of confusing. But that might have just been me doing some wishful thinking. But if you like mysteries and you like good, well-plotted story that'll keep you guessing and keep turning you on your head, then you definitely should take a look at Nightwalker. Not Night Stalker and not Streetwalker, because both of those things are not correct. This is Nightwalker. So I'll have links and shit below that you could play around with. And until next time, keep sticking your thumbs up when things happen that are nice.